started to read Jane Eyre a few days ago. I've been making this experience really great because I've been going out to the park of my hometown to read, and I haven't recorded any of that. I will continue to do that, but for now I can say that I'm really liking the book. And I really like Jane as a protagonist. I enjoyed what I've read so far. I am in chapter 10 right now, so like 20% of the book according to my Kindle. And I'm very excited to continue reading. I will bring you with me because I think this is going to be a very rewarding reading experience, and that's why I want to film it. So far, I've read all of Jane's childhood. In chapter 10, she is already 18 years old. So all of her childhood is through what she lived in the house, that I don't remember the name, with her family, although they don't treat her like family at all. And the other part is while she lived in Lowood. Basically how she was educated, the friends she made, the tragedy also that she had to overcome, and overall very depressing circumstances. So now I'm excited to see how life is going to be for Jane now that she's going to move on from all of that. I went to the city with my sister to eat lunch and read. And honestly, eating out is one of our favorite activities to do together. I love that hot chocolate so much. And this was my first time trying this pie brownie mix, which was amazing. It has been a long time since I filmed something for this reading vlog, and that is because a lot of things have changed in my life recently, and I haven't been reading. I have to admit, it was not like for a long period of time, but for some days, a lot of days together, I didn't read. Then I read again for a little bit, and so on. So now I'm on chapter 23. I'm still liking the book, but honestly, I don't like Mr. Rochester. I'm not a fan of him. I don't like his character. I understand what is going on and the romance that is building, but I don't know, it seems weird to me the way that he interacts with Jane. Jane is still great. Of course that I want to continue reading because I want to know what happens, but this part was a lot about Mr. Rochester, and I know that what follows now that I'm on chapter 23 is still going to be about him. I loved reading about Jane's childhood, and now seeing her as an adult is also great. It's just him that I don't particularly like. Let me know what you think about him, because I don't know if he is a beloved character. For what I see in the story, he is not a very popular or handsome man, but Jane is in love with him, of course, and I think that is so sad, at least right now for where we are in the story. I will keep making updates, although I don't know when I will finish this book. I'm a very slow reader, so I'm trying to enjoy my time with this book as much as I can. This day I decided to make some breakfast and then enjoy my book. And I love this breakfast so much. I don't even remember since when I started making this, and in my family they're not a fan of it. Honestly, no one else eats this, but I love it. I knew that Mr. Rochester was bad, and this confirms everything. I was not shocked. I didn't expect it to be like that, but also it wasn't very impressive. I don't know what's gonna happen now in Jane's life, to be honest, and I feel kind of lost with her. Right now I'm on chapter 28, and I'm just gonna keep on reading. And here is one of my favorite places. I love the nature here, and I just love the peace that it gives me. And this day I listened to the audiobook during my walk. updated this blog for a long time, and now I am on chapter 37. And I am shocked on how things changed and what happened to Mr. Rochester. The last thing that I said was that Mr. Rochester was bad, and then what happened is that Jane leaves and she becomes a beggar. And then she is found by someone who helps her. Then she gets a job. And now these people who help her end up being their family, their distant cousins or something. And then she gets money from his uncle who dies, and now she's rich and independent and amazing. She refuses to marry St. John, and that was a great decision. And then she goes back because she needs to know what happened to Mr. Rochester. She didn't have an answer from Mrs. Fairfax, so she goes there, and the place is completely destroyed, and Mr. Rochester is blind, and also Mr. Rochester is completely destroyed. And now I'm seeing their reunion, and I can see how they can now be together, honestly. Before, for me, it was like a no, but now I can see it. So I'm 96% and I'm 35 left in this chapter, and after this chapter is the conclusion. So I don't know how long the conclusion is gonna be, but wow, a lot happened, and I am excited to finish this book, honestly. Now, this is a clip of me dyeing my hair because this was a very important part of my life. This was a transition as well. I had some blonde pieces in my hair, and I dyed it fantasy colors for 5+ years. So dyeing it brown was a big deal for me. So I finally finished Jane Eyre, and I liked it. I really liked the story. I think it has good drama and mystery and a very great protagonist. I love Jane. I wrote on my journal a summary of all the story. Let me find it. It's all here, and I am glad that I did because now I can remember the story a little better. I really hope you enjoyed this reading vlog because I was so excited when I started reading the book that I felt the need to film a reading vlog. I felt like I needed just to see my whole process. And this was very special because it was in the middle of me moving to a different city, to a different life. So it is gonna be special for me. What I have to say, and this is a sort of review, is that even though that I really liked the story, I felt the writing style was sometimes difficult to get into, like difficult to continue or difficult to be invested in the story. Sometimes it felt a little repetitive, but overall, the good things are better than the bad things about this story. I feel like Jane was amazing. Since she was a kid, I admire her. I felt that she was very determined and she always followed her intuition. She knew what was right and wrong for her, and that dictated her life. She made a good life for herself, and she was happy at the end. When she was very happy, I was happy too. And although I have to say that at first I didn't like Mr. Rochester, I didn't like him as a character because I felt he was very eccentric and kind of weird. I just didn't connect with him, so I didn't like the idea of Jane being with him. And after we learned the truth about his wife, I of course didn't want Jane to be with him, and she was right to leave. I was very scared when she was a beggar and she almost dies, but she was right to leave him. But when they reunite at the end, I felt like it was the right time. I think Mr. Rochester changed in a good way, and that helped a lot for the story. In my case, that helped a lot for me to say that I was okay with the relationship. And at the end, what mattered to me was that Jane was happy. Of course, I like the idea of Jane having a family, founding her family in St. John and Mary and Diana, but St. John was not a good character for me. I dislike him. At first, I thought we were going to see a love story between him and this lady that I don't remember her name. But no, at the end, he is just trying to get married to Jane, and not for love, which is not acceptable, and Jane doesn't accept it, which is good. Overall, I think the story is good. It is a classic that I would recommend. I love classic books overall. I know they're difficult to read, and they are even a little more difficult to read if you don't read them in your first language. I want to watch the movie adaptations, or I don't know if there's TV adaptations, but please recommend some to me if you have seen them. I want to watch especially this one that I'm gonna put right here on the screen. That's it for my review for Jane Eyre. I really hope you enjoyed this reading blog, and at the end, this review, although it's a little bit short. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, share it with friends. Tell me your experience reading Jane Eyre if you have, and please tell me your recommendations for adaptations of this book. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content about movies, TV shows, and books. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.